man's dream. We're gonna enter into the crypto metaverse.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's either 2017. It's like that's 4 years, which in crypto space or DeFi space, it's like 40 years, right?
To see where we are now from 2017 to 2021 is absolutely mental.
Mind blowing, right?
Mind blowing. In 2017, you had the scam coins. We all got the Tron. It was all about, oh, Tron's gonna do this, Ripple's gonna do this, Cardano's gonna do this, and then two kind of shined over everything: Ethereum and Bitcoin. And then those three are still just not really doing much. But it's been all about Ethereum, honestly, since 2017. It really has been.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fake the funk. It goes from like $60 all the way to 3,300 now.
And Bitcoin's like the kind of like the gold, right, of that space.
What I've learned
space.
is narratives here. Okay, the narrative sells everything. It's the narrative. The narrative on Bitcoin is it's a store of value, and then you'll have the people who are Ethereum maxis and stuff, and they'll give you the Ethereum narrative.
What's a maxi?
Maxi is somebody who just believes in their coin like a sports team. As my good friend Cody always says, these are like sports teams. The Bitcoin's the Yankees. You can't deny it. They got almost $1 trillion market cap. And they will, so to speak, diss Ethereum. Like, oh, Ethereum's not real. It's a scam. It's all centralized. And then understanding what is decentralized and what is centralized. Yes, there is an Ethereum foundation. And then Bitcoin is proof of work, where it's a bunch of computers constantly.
Proof of stake, right?
Yeah, well, that's what Ethereum is switching to, proof of stake. So they say, and it's hard to I'm not really on a team. I'm here to make money. But you make the joke on Twitter is, I'm in it for the tech, and I'm not in it for the tech. I believe in the technology, but also believe in, like making money too. I'm not going to lie to you. So it's like, there's always, are you in it for the tech or are you in it for the money? I'm kind of in it I appreciate the tech for sure. But we're all here to make money.
It seems like most people that are in the space, that's
they
their
want to
goal.
make money.
Right.
Course,
they just don't know how to move to make it efficient, right, in their life. Everybody has, most people have jobs and work.
Exactly. And, but yeah, where we are now from 2017 to 2021 it was like Ethereum and Bitcoin. Those other things I gave you were blockchains like Ripple, Cardano, and Tron. Those were like the three I was like, oh, they're cheap, so I'm going to buy them like stocks and hope that they hit 100x by the time 2020's here, and it really was just the dominant blockchains. See, they're blockchains, Ethereum and Bitcoin. But now what's happening is the Ethereum blockchain really took over the last 4 years because of smart contracts, thanks to Chainlink. But you can't really do smart contracts on Bitcoin, and not to get too technical on what a smart contract is. These are just automated things that you don't really need a middleman for. It's all math based, so if a certain, say I was to sell, we made a contract where if Bitcoin, or let's just say Ethereum, if Ethereum goes to $1,600, then how does the payout happen? It's an automated contract version of that where both of us get paid when this certain thing happens, and that's how I kind of think about it. And now it's, in 4 years, these chains have started to, you could say mimic them with EVM, Ethereum virtual machines, where they kind of mimic the software in a way. Avalanche, it's insane how it's started to come up. Phantom's another one that I really believe in. Phantom's coming up, and man, the meme was
the Phantom is the Phantom blockchain, and then Is it spooky?
Spooky swap. Yeah.
Spooky swap.
Yeah, it looks silly when you start playing it, but once you start making money, you're like,
it's crazy, right? It's like, I'm like, what is that? Is that a cat?
It's
is
a
that
ghost.
You're like, it's a cat ghost, bro.
Ghost cat. But the kitty cat, it prints you money when you see like this. I made $500 in 3 weeks. Dude, show me a Roth IRA. Show me a savings account that's going to make you $500 that fast. And I'm just giving an example of obviously the more money you have.
I mean, it's crazy, right? Because you're like, that's not real. This is like fake, right? Fake money, you know? But it's like you put real money in there and then you move it around. And then I'm looking at a ghost cat, okay?
Yeah, no, spooky,
and then it goes to, you know, you're making a few $100 in like a week, you know?
Right.
And you know, then you can just move that into like US dollar coin,
USDC, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
and then you can take that money out if you want to, right?
Exactly.
But stuff is moving so fast that why would you want to do that?
It's moving so fast.
And the dollar's not going, doesn't seem like it's going anywhere, right?
To me, it's like, what are we at the end of the day?
With all the money we're printing, it seems like.
What are we at the end of the day? I mean, we all say, I'm a USDC maxi at the end of the day. I want to have a fat stack of USDC, which is just a stable coin. You can go do your research on what that is. But everybody has like
it's pegged to the currency, right?
I think it's the most liquid stable coin.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one called DAI, DAI.
Mm-hmm.
That actually a lot of what is backing the DAI stable coin is USDC stable coin. So it's just like...
There's Tether, right?
And Tether's been through a lot of audits and SECs trying to come at Tether. There's people who argue the Ethereum maxis on their sports team will say a lot of the Bitcoin pump in 2017 was due to Tether. People printing, like what really backs Tether? Are they just printing a stable coin out of thin air? But they've been audited a bunch. I think that's FUD. That's been eradicated. I don't get into the sports team here.
FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt.
Yeah, a lot of FUD out there.
Which makes people...
Yeah, it makes them fearful. It
Yeah.
makes them uncertain, and it makes them doubtful. Like, oh, Bitcoin's 19,000. Should I buy it? And there's fearful right there. And then it's like, well, what if it goes to zero? There's the uncertainty. And then it's like, well, what if it doesn't go up? There's the doubt. So it's like you have
the FOMO,
the FUD, the FOMO, fear of missing out. Yeah, man, you just basic terms. But here we are now, and these three blockchains are starting to really come up, in my opinion. Solana. It's undeniable. Look at the price.
Right.
What's making the price go up, by the way, is people are bridging their assets. Okay, a bridge is important to understand too, from the Ethereum blockchain, which is what we did with to Spooky. We took our assets off of the Ethereum blockchain, which is the dominant one. Let's be honest right now.
Yeah.
Bitcoin has the narrative of the stored value. It's daddy. No one wants to sell it though. But I actually use my Ethereum, as we've done already. You need it to make the transactions. You need it to... It's the currency of the Ethereum.
The gas fees, right?
Yeah,
they charge you some.
Yeah, some.
I mean, lots, too much.
It's
that's
and it's
part of the issue, right?
That's 90% of the issue of why people are just, man, I'm making a trade on Ethereum. I want to play the game. I'm a normal guy who has like $5,000. I'm like, this is the problem I had with introducing people to DeFi and like Bancors and a lot of the dApps and Sushi Swap and Uniswap and things like that is because someone wants to play the game. They have like $5,000 and it's like, okay, cool. You can start to play the game. You can give them two choices. You go buy Bitcoin or buttcorn as they call it. You go buy the corn. You hold it. What do you really do with it? You're just like crossing your fingers, just like a stock at that point. You're just waiting for the price to go up, and that can take a few years. Who knows if we hit another bear market here, Or then you can say, hey, dude, but there's all this cool stuff to do that smart contracts have enabled on Ethereum. And so you start showing people what you can do, like Aave. Okay, I can take that $5,000. Okay, this is just for a normal guy if you're starting. You go buy a crap coin, shit coin. Sorry for cussing, but you can go like purchase a shit coin. You can go to like a Coinbase, for example, where they don't charge you. You take your 5K, buy 5K worth of USDC. Now you can start playing the game. Well, what do you do with that USDC? Okay, by the time you go, oh, hey, man, buy this token. I think I'm really a firm believer in this token. They go, okay, what do I do now? You send it to your wallet. You go to Sushi Swap or Uniswap. By the time that's done, okay, right there, you just got cut with a $50 fee just to send it from one wallet to the next on the Ethereum blockchain. Then you connect your wallet to the Uniswap dApp. Or DEX, sorry, the decentralized exchange. And you go and you exchange your USDC for whatever shitcoin, sorry for cussing, on whatever you believe in, okay? Solana or whatever that's kind of a bad example. But when you make that trade right there, you're getting charged another $40. And before
Solana's not a bad trade right now.
No, not a bad one. But
not a bad investment.
No, it's not. But it's like,
here's an example.
Before you did all that, you're already out like
yeah.
$170, and you're like, dude, you kind of feel dirty afterwards. You're like, dude, this guy's trying to help me make money, and he just lost me $170 to $100. And sometimes when the market's pumping, you're talking $200. And then that's not to mention slippage and like all this other technical stuff, but. My point is, once that happens, it's hard to convince a normal guy. If you have like 20,000, 30,000, it's a little different. You're like, okay, I'll eat the $100 fee. But then what do you do with that? Okay, you can then take that, deposit into Aave, okay, and then take loans out on it. Point being, all that is just getting very expensive. Even to take that loan out now is going to be $100. You know what I mean? To add, you've experienced it. Add chain link inside to keep your threshold high, that's going to cost a couple $100. I mean, it's getting to the point where the Ethereum blockchain seems to be like they can't handle the traffic. There's millions of users. They're all trading NFTs now or bidding on NFTs, and things are just like nobody really knows. When's this NFT? Is this?
Explain an NFT.
NFT is a non-fungible token. It's like the digital rights to the property, basically. So like I just saw
because an Armenian guy, they valued the company at like $1 billion, some billion.
We're talking
valuation
about like the OpenSea, which is the biggest NFT platform, which is where you or I, okay, can go and put like NFTs we've collected and put them up for auction. And it's also where a creator can go and put his NFT up for sale. So it's good if you're like a digital artist and things like this, but some of these things make absolutely starting to get to the point. A picture of a rock sold for $1 million, and I can show you what the NFT is, and you're just going to be like, you'll scratch your head. Everybody scratches their head, but what's making it expensive is that if someone's willing to pay for that, you know, it's art, digital art. So like, I look at it like baseball cards, honestly, because there's not just one NFT of like cyberpunks. It's like there'll be like a whole bunch of cyberpunks are probably the most popular NFTs for people to. You can go look it up. Visa just bought a cyberpunk. Oh my god, I never thought I'd say that, but you can go look these cyberpunks up, and you'll see they're like 8-bit pixelated like things, and you're like, I don't understand this like at all. But it's the metaverse, you know. Like pretty soon, not to get too. See, I can go off on these things. Like say like digital property is like me or you owning like a mansion inside the metaverse, where like people just put the VR goggles on, like Facebook is showing you now. You go inside the metaverse and you go into Ben Stream's museum, and it'll be like something like this. We're like, dude, we can make this an NFT. We can make that an NFT. We can make this an NFT. And
I don't get it. You know,
and just putting this inside your metaverse of like, hey, look, there's Alberto Crane's museum inside his metaverse. Look at his art pieces. And then these are valued as real art, but inside the metaverse. I look at it like baseball cards, okay? Cyberpunks is like the most popular one. It'll be one cyberpunk, 100 copies of it. And you're like, well, if I'm not even the original owner of this cyberpunk, like a bunch of people can own the digital rights to this cyberpunk. It's like, well, then how is that even worth anything if 100 other guys can own it? I look at it like baseball cards. Topps prints. They don't just print one.
Gilbert, the quant, you know, the founder.
Yeah.
He at the beginning part of the year, I just, you know, I was on the call with him. He's like, yeah, I would look at the NFT, and he was saying like, for example, like a well-known guy doing a kick, you know, and you kind of do a picture or a video. I'm not even sure how it works, you know,
right? And
then you digitize that, right, and make it into
I had an idea with Cody to go to Gordon Ryan just to bring it back to jiu-jitsu of the slap with Andre Guevara. I was not to get all good. I mean,
so how do you do that? You just make a video of it? How do you do that? What's the process?
Well, the NFT can be like kind of, it can be a hologram, but not a video, just a still shot, a screenshot. I mean, dude, we call this trading JPEGs as a joke. Like JPEGs, you know, just like
so you take a picture of something of somebody, and then you just like digitize it.
It's called minting it. And guess what that costs you? Gas, Ethereum gas fees. I mean, people are minting these things for like $3,000, Professor, and then they're buying them for like 5 ETH. And it's baseball card trading. People want NFTs because it's hot, and then they go and pay 20 ETH for it. You know what I mean? And then they're paying gas, and they're paying. Look, man.
The thing is, there's no picture of you can make one up, I guess.
Exactly.
Right? You can make an artist.
It's art trading. You know, yeah, you can get an artist to just paint, like, you know, and then digitize the painting of Gordon Ryan, slap it. You know, I mean, dude, I've thought of that from like day one with Cody. I was like, dude, that would be like the killer NFT. And mark my words, or Gordon Ryan will be jumping on the NFT thing very shortly. It's something that. It's digital art to kind of like put it into perspective, and you own the rights to it. But back to the baseball cards. So Topps baseball cards, you know what I grew up trading Upper Deck. They don't print one Ken Griffey Jr. Like rookie card, right? They print like hundreds of Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards. But then all those other normal baseball cards, there's like tens of thousands of like Wade Boggs, third base, you know. But like the rare ones, like the rookie card of Griffey, you know, they know like, okay, we're going to print like 200 of these, you know, 300 of these. That's what NFTs are. So it's people, collectors, like art collectors, grab, I want that. That's going to be worth something.
They know that's going to be worth something.
Super
so they make less.
Super speculative. And it seems like right now, all people want NFTs for is not to what I described for like your metaverse of like your house and your mansion of just all these cool NFTs you own. They want them to flip them. It's just baseball card flipping, in my opinion, right now. And look, everything has to pop eventually. I can't call bubbles when they pop, but it seems like the next market dump where we get blown off the top again, I think those NFTs are going to get sold real fast for people to save their thresholds and Aave.
Interesting, right?
I mean, it's hard to understand and
I mean, it's
grasp.
just crazy, right? Like you farm, you get these crazy, interest rates. You make
Under
this,
10%,
yeah, on your money, and you just print money basically,
Yeah, it's
and then you joke with me like the singularity is coming, right? Where we merge with technology, right?
Yeah.
But like that's like the future, like what was the name of that movie?
Ready Player One.
Not that's a good one too, right? The virtual reality that we're going to be living in, right?
Yeah.
But what's that with the robot that?
Matrix or
Not Matrix, that as well, right?
I mean, I can go on.
right. But the one where he's like a little robot, and there's like everybody left Earth, and they're like fat.
Oh, Wall-E.
Wall-E,
The Disney
yeah.
one. Yeah, Professor.
Wall-E.
This is predictive programming. Look that word up, I mean, if you guys, I don't want to get into like those kind of things, but this is predictive programming.
Right.
Like you have an idea, like in Matrix 2, they say like werewolves invent, like those guys in Matrix 2. It was the hardest.
I gotta
movie,
watch Matrix 2
hardest
again.
movie to understand, but there's the gatekeeper, the guy who's like the head of like the Illuminati in the Matrix, who knows the secrets of the world and what we're actually living in, and he breaks down to Neo in one of these like scenes, and he's like, how are they ghosts? These two like white ghosts who can disappear, and they manipulate the Matrix differently, And he's like, well, the Matrix writes the code. If you have the thought of like the Matrix will write the code, so werewolves, vampires. If people start thinking about it, then the code will be written, and then that's when people get all like philosophical about like, well, if I think about being a champion, then the Matrix is gonna write the code for you to be a champion. It's just up to you to follow the path of the code. Those kind of things are like, I really believe in those kind of things a lot. So like, like now eventually I do believe like Ready Player One's the future. I mean, who wants to live on this? I mean, don't get me started, but who wants to live on
I mean, they say I've seen things right in the 2040s or 50s, like more people are going to be spending more time in virtual reality than in real reality.
Yes.
And you see the kids, right? It's scary, right? Like playing the video games and things becoming more and more real, and then those virtual reality goggles.
The thing that Facebook just released, and well, the thing is,
what did Facebook release?
You didn't see the Facebook VR goggles?
No.
Just go look it up after this, brother.
So you get connected to all the friends and everything?
Yeah, and you all are interacting with your little avatars, which is what Ready Player One was. You want to be this big buff giant guy carrying a big, sword. You can be that guy inside inside the Oasis, as they called it, and I think that movie's
so
crazy.
man.
That movie's crazy. The guy's living on a
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, the
movie.
guy's living on a nuclear scorched earth where there's just rich people and there's poor people. Alita is a really good one too. If you haven't seen,
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, they the cloud people. How do we get to live with them up there? I mean, and then all down here is all the broken down droids and the unwanted people who can't get into the super, floaty land that's up there. I mean, dude, it's coming either way. Like, that's where it's going to go. So I think this crypto now is like the way for you to get into the Oasis.
Right. Get up into that, yeah.
Because soon it's going to be like, when Bitcoin gets to like $1 million, it's going to be like, did you buy any? And by that point, you're buying, just like, you're buying Satoshis of the Bitcoin. You're buying 0.000008, Whereas right now, you put a couple grand.
And all the, because, like, it's like, who's in on this, and like all the big guys are in on it, like the JP Morgans and all the the central bank, which runs the, like you want to think like, oh, you're going against the big players, but the big players are in on it, They have to, or they would stop it, right? Somehow.
Exactly.
They'll shut it down.
They are. And,
I mean, it's like on Amazon cloud,
services.
yeah.
I mean, Ethereum is on AWS,
right?
Amazon Web Services.
And so these guys are they shut down like that parlor.
They can shut it down in 5 seconds,
right?
And was that FUD? You tell me, because that sounds like some FUD to me. That's a lot of fear. That's a lot of uncertainty.
They took the parlor down, right? When Trump was, the exactly. Amazon got together with Apple and Google, and they just shut them down. Shut them down.
The one that seems to be, in my opinion, Professor, the ultimate decentralized, got to go back to Daddy. It's Bitcoin. I can run a node, you can run a node, he
And
can
it's
run
never
a
been
node,
hacked, right?
She can. No, I can run a node, you can run a node. It's
What's
been
the, what's the
forked.
WikiLeaks guy?
It's been Assange.
Assange.
Trump should have pardoned him, by the way. Anyway, it's been he should.
And he has like how many Bitcoins?
Oh man,
he knew, huh? He knew back in those
bro.
days.
He knew. Yeah, I mean,
And nobody could take it from
it's
him.
the ultimate decentralized currency. I think it really is. And then Ethereum guys will go, man, yeah, right. This guy, the miners run the game, and this runs the game, dude. The point is, it's about nodes, okay, and that's meaning like you and I run a node on our computer, so like the network stays linked. So like one guy in Sacramento runs a node, one guy in Riverside, where I'm from, runs a node, one guy in Vegas runs a node, and you can start seeing all these dots, right? Sacramento, Riverside, Vegas, and you make a triangle like right there. So more people run nodes, the faster the network is, the more secure the network is, you know? It's just all about security. I think Bitcoin is a giant security energy grid that keeps our money safe.
I can't believe you haven't seen that TV show called Startup.
No, I don't watch much. I work in TV.
I don't either. But like when somebody done it, it sounded like it was cool because it was on crypto basically, you know.
Oh really? Yeah.
It's like a startup on like a, you know, the thing was GenCoin, you know, and they just, you know, of course it's like Hollywood and TV and stuff, but it's cool because they talk about those things like the nodes, and so it kind of helps you understand like the concepts a little bit.
Yeah, and then you look at who's behind that. The big players are programming you to know what nodes are, and it's time to learn this stuff, basically, is what they're saying, you know. And man, it's crazy. I think Bitcoin's the only like true decentralized one, but some of these, I'm telling you, the Solana, dude, I mean, I'm telling you, Solana's looking like the real deal. The meme was like 7-8 months ago. When I say meme, you know what I mean, right? Just it can be a saying, a popular like kind of saying is how you. But the meme was hot Solana summer is coming. Hot Solana
summer's gonna.
Yeah, hot Solana's gonna. It's a hot Solana summer, and it's like, because Solana is SOL.
Right, like a sun.
Sol means, dude, you already get it. So it's like hot Solana summer is here. I was like laughing, bro. I was like, that's a shit coin.
When was this? This is like
this
a month
is
ago?
like in spring. Yeah, and I'm like, this is shit coin, hot Solana. Because what happens, the Solana maxis get on Twitter, and they just pump, shill, constantly, hot Solana summer. And it turns out it's actually pretty good technology. And so what people are doing, they're taking away from Ethereum because my point is it's expensive to make a mistake on Ethereum now, because you can be like, oh, I want all my crap out of Bancor now. Okay, you know, here's $280 later for you. And for a normal guy, that's hard. But yeah, if you're a whale and you got like, you know, 500, 600 ETH, you know, to me, that's a lot of ETH, you know. Then it's like, it's not a big deal to you.
Every ETH is around 3,000 right now, right?
Yeah, 3,300, I think, as we sit here. And it's funny that it's just like...
You're so dialed in with all the Bitcoins and everything.
Man. And, you know, when Brian...
what's Bitcoin at right now?
Bitcoin probably like 47,320. But what the funny thing is with Brian, remember when he's like, who checks the price 20 times a day? And I waved my hand in the screen, and I do. Like, it's because I stay in tune with the matrix, man. I spend... Professor, my screen time on Twitter was like 8 hours a day.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I don't have the time to do that, but I appreciate that, you know, you were really dialed in. You called, like, Bitcoin's going to go to this, Bitcoin's going to go to that. Like, you really called, you wrote it down on a piece of paper, and sure enough, it did, right?
Yeah, and what did I do? That's the matrix. I wrote you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain, but I set that path out there.
No, where the intent goes, the energy goes, right?
I believed in it because I know,
you know, all these guys that wrote, you know, like Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich back in the over 100 years ago.
Same.
It's all the same thing. You write down, you declare, and it's real. If you work hard, you know, you have that focus, that intention on it.
Me and my boy,
and it happens.
They call Warren Buffett the Oracle of Omaha. Me and my boy Cody. You know, and Dan, Coach Dan, you know, Professor Dan, sorry, we always call me the Oracle of Riverside, because that's where I'm from. Because I always make like, I don't know, man, like Babe Ruth, I just try to call the shot real quick, point my bat. If it happens, it happens, you know. But it's like, I really believed it. I was like, oh, we're going to hit 50K. Everybody's going to be like, we're back. We're going to go to the all-time high. 64 is coming. Dude, that's just FOMO. Like, it's like, bro, no, it's not, you know. And I think right now it's like, with all these KYCs, know your customers, with FTX, Binance is in a lot of trouble. Binance's users are...
Why is that? Because the big guys are shutting them down?
Before, I used to be able to, like, getting tighter on the restrictions. They're controllers who are the big banks. You know, I mean, big banks fund... I mean, Binance, how do they get set up?
Central banks, right?
Yeah, even just whatever bank they use in China. I don't know the exact bank. But then who controls them? The Central Bank of China. You know what I mean? So like, they're getting tighter restrictions on these guys because, dude, you used to be able to be a ghost on Binance. You know, I never used to have. What do I mean by know your customer? So now FTX, the other big one that came up in the past year, FTX they sponsor the Miami Heat Stadium now, bro. You know what I mean? And Crypto.com.
Crypto.com is sponsoring the UFC.
Yeah, these are like what are called centralized exchanges. I like decentralized exchanges, you know, like Spooky Swap. That's decentralized. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard to kind of like Uniswap, quote unquote, decentralized. Sushi Swap, decentralized exchanges. That's why it's called a DEX, a DEX. These are places where we can be anonymous and there still is anonymity and we can make these decisions of buying these coins. Whereas now on Binance, I have to send them, dude, a picture of my ID, me holding my ID, you know, not as if that's
you holding your ID.
You holding your ID, and then there's a face scanner thing where it fits your face inside of here. You have to like biometrically align your face
on Binance.
Yeah, and like it's like, dude, how much shit do you need? Where's that
Got all
going?
control, huh?
And where's that going? Do I trust Binance, this Chinese company, with all this stuff?
Is Binance Chinese?
Yeah, they have my passport. You know, they now have I mean, it can be your passport or your ID. They have, you know, they have my driver's license number. You have my biometric face scan inside your system. You know, pretty soon it'll be like a thumbprint. The point is it's like there's no anonymity in these centralized exchanges. The big one was everybody started moving their money to FTX because it was like, dude, you could make trades on FTX like anonymously still. You just had to send the Bitcoin to the address and you're good and you start trading. You know, my point is you could sign up with an email, you know, and you just had your email and it was cool. And it was like, it didn't have to be your main email. I could just go make up an email right now, sign it up, get a passcode, authentic verification to my phone, the two-factor authentic verification to the phone. That was a wrap. And that was enough. But now all the big banks who really run the show are like, no, you need to start KYC, know your customer. That's why all this money now is moving then to Ethereum.
KYC.
Yeah, KYC. We call it the KY jelly. And you know why. And then now it moved to Ethereum. Now everybody's like, dude, Ethereum's starting to seem like centralized with the miners running the show. And then as it's supposed to move to proof of stake, it hasn't moved to proof of stake yet. And Ethereum 2.0 is supposed to be proof of stake. What is proof of stake? It's like you and me have a fat stack of Ethereum. We stake our Ethereum, you know what I mean? And the whales, basically the guys who have, you know, 1 million ETH, you know, they're going to be the guys that have the largest proof of stake. So they're basically running the show, the whales. That's just kind of a broad sense of it, you know. The more you stake, the more power you have, basically.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Which is what our basic financial system is
Right,
now.
exactly.
And Bitcoin's not like that. And so that's why I tend to lean a little bit more towards the Bitcoin maximalization. And why I like, I mean, not a maxi, but like I love Solana, like what Phantom is doing. You know, I love what, and the proof is in the pudding. Look where the money's going. Look what Avalanche is doing. I mean, that's where the money's, go where the money goes.
Yeah.
The whales are leaving Ethereum, it seems, and which is dominant NFT trading now, baseball card trading. I mean, I tried to take a loan the other day for a couple grand. Dude, it cost me like $500. I was like, why am I going to even... For $3,000, we're on Phantom. I can go to their Scream, take a loan out of $5,000 if I have enough collateral. Dude, it costs you 0.01 Phantom token, which is like 59 cents. Less than that, you know.
What's the future? What does the future behold, you know? Like we're in 2021. I mean, it's hard to predict, right? Because it's like day by day, week by week, right?
For crypto, everybody by... Let's see, right now, I think close to 80. Bitcoin's growing faster than the internet was growing right now. Okay? Look what's happening in Nigeria. Okay? Nigeria just announced you need a vaccination passport to open a bank account. Go look that up. That's as scary as it gets to me. And, like, I'm not going to talk. I don't care about the vaccination, unvaccination thing. You have your right, in my opinion. It's like, you want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. You don't, you don't. You know, all the data is out there. But that shouldn't be. So what are they doing in Nigeria? They're starting to mine Bitcoin and go to Bitcoin. I don't need a proof of vaccination to buy Bitcoin. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's all these little companies like Strike coming up for Bitcoin. And, like, I'm not going to just hammer Bitcoin in, but it looks like that's the currency of freedom. So by, I think, 2030, you're going to have 1 billion plus Bitcoin addresses. 1 billion plus.
What do we have right now?
Don't quote me, but I think we're somewhere between 30 and 80 million right now. And I mean, it's growing faster than the internet, Professor.
Wow.
We might double to 160 by 2022, which is what people are predicting. And you look at what's happening in Argentina. You know, all this is due to money printing, man. And so they're printing the money and they're buying up all the assets. And so now they're buying up all the crypto assets too. By 2030, I think we're all living on the blockchain like permanently. Me and you doing business now is going to be you scanning a QR code to my whatever wallets I want. It already
That's the future, right? The blockchain is the future.
It is.
Blockchain technology.
And
so
what is it? It's just a giant database or a ledger that ensures that everybody has what they have in their wallet, so to speak. So I'm no counterfeiting, basically. That's where the Bitcoin maxis go, well, you can counterfeit all these other shit coins. You can just print them out of thin air. But with Bitcoin, it's just basically, it seems to be the one that we know there's only going to be 21 million. You know, the last Bitcoin's going to be printed in 21, 22. So think about the price then. You're going to have all the miners competing for like one final Bitcoin, which is kind of like in the movie, the Oasis. They're all trying to, in Ready Player One, they're all trying to find the $1 trillion coin. So you could have $1 trillion coin by then. But I mean, what is $1 trillion? It's nothing now. The first banker bailout was $800 billion in 2008. Now these banker bailouts are
Trillions.
like $5 trillion. What
and
do you
now
think?
quadrillion is next.
It's next. Hey, it is next.
Yeah.
By 20,
I mean, I've never even. I guess I've kind of heard of quadrillion, but now it's like becoming a common
thing.
Cody,
and I love you, Cody. I've been saying to him since I saw that movie, Ready Player One. I said, dude, this is the closest thing to the future I see. Everybody's so depressed on Earth that they want to escape and get away inside the Oasis,
that's
the blockchain, and everybody's going to be living on there with their NFT as their avatar. You know what I mean?
It's crazy,
bro.
right?
It's crazy, and like. Me and you even doing this now, Alberto Crane's podcast, if I do it again by 2030, there's going to be a way for me to plug in here and like not even be here. And like we're just talking inside the chain. I'm just basically going to go boom right there, plug in my phone, put my thing on, whatever I need to put on. And
you're going to be right here sitting next to it, next, just like in the movie.
Yeah, and me and you're just talking.
And you're right next to it. You're right next to us. In this age, we're at this age.
Because maybe you can't go outside. There's a scary, deadly virus, and traveling 10 minutes is dangerous, and there's all these checkpoints and stuff. Bro, you can go on and on and on. It's just, it doesn't look... That's a lot of FUD I'm releasing, dude. But I, like you, I believe in the positive outcome of man, and I think that
like Albert Einstein is like, you can even think the universe is in your favor or against your favor, right?
Yeah, I think Bitcoin gives us hope. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think it's the true decentralized money, take the power away from the bankers. You know, and then once we all start understanding satoshis, I think we can exchange in satoshis because it's still linked to the dollar. Because it's like, well, what's it worth, really? You know what I mean? But there's those 8 decimals after the 1 in Bitcoin, which is the genius of Satoshi. The design is like we can trade like 81 Satoshis, like 0.000000081. And then what is that? Like we represent those as dollars now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that will be the dollar. Do you know what I mean?
Have you with the SDR? You know, I was looking at some
Special drawing rights. Yeah.
Right. So like in was it the 70s? You know, and they were trying to. Combine all the world currencies, the major world currencies,
into an SDR, yeah,
into
special drawing rights,
right? Versus to have it be the world currency instead of the dollar. Right?
Yeah, the SDR is like what the central banks exchange as currencies, and even that's become a disaster right now. I mean, the guys that run the game, they know one thing, bro, and they're backed into a corner. If they raised interest rates, they go broke.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you understand money
I mean,
a little bit better
I've been
than me.
reading the Rich Dad Poor Dad, Fake, the book Fake.
Right. I know
And it's kind of a culmination of everything, of all the stuff, his whole life, right?
Yeah.
And he basically saying like, the bubble that we're living in, and the biggest asset of the U.S. government is the student loan bubble. It's like $1 trillion, 1 trillion,
Yeah.
I don't know, trillions, 1 point, whatever at this point.
You've got the bond bubble going on too. If bonds are yielding, I've said it before, yielding negative in Germany right now. Why even own a bond?
But it's like where you graduate college, right? You owe all this money, right? And the rates of going to college is so expensive, right?
Insane.
And it's just over the decades, right?
It just accumulates. Yeah.
And so you're so far in the negative.
You're just paying interest,
And it's it's just like you can't get get rid of that debt,
We're living
pay
in
it off.
bubble mania. There's a book, I believe.
You can't declare bankruptcy. It's still going to be with you.
Yeah, a paper called Bubble Mania. I think a white paper that's out there of this guy.
Bubble Mania.
Yeah, something that you can Google that, like called Bubble Mania.
There's a book called was it the Big Bubble? No, the Everything Bubble.
The Everything Bubble, yeah. And it's like, bro, there's a stock market bubble. There's the bond market. If that fails, we're done in this country, by the way. And I think Bitcoin goes to $1 million like overnight if that happens, because people are like, I need something safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you, bro, we got the stock market bubble. We got the real estate. I mean, you know more than me about real estate. I mean, holy cow, man, the prices of houses just keep escalating and going up, you know? And commercial real estate is just a whole nother wacky
Well, it's like
bubble.
kind of crazy when you look at the banks, like how the whole banking industry, right? And it's going to be in 5 years probably like a thing of the past because of this new technology. Like they say they have, you know, it was on the gold. I think the last time we talked, it was like the gold standard, right? And it wasn't even on the gold standard. It was just like you had like they had to 10% or something of the gold. They just had to have 10% of that gold to be able to print that money, right?
Right.
And then they took the gold completely off the
Richard
US
Nixon,
dollar.
1971.
Exactly.
That was the anniversary. Was just
And
like
so
10 days ago.
And they just basically, you make an account, you have money in the account, and they can lend out like 90%, right? More than
fractional reserve banking.
that. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's just, everything's built on debt, on top of debt, on top of debt.
You go to the bank back in the day, you know, like.
And people don't, you know, like the rich dad, you know, Robert Kiyosaki, rich dad, poor dad, you know, he's, you know, financial IQ, right? That's FIQ, he calls it, you know, but just getting that, people don't understand that, you know, and so because of that, you're always just going to be, you know.
Right. He understands Bitcoin too now, by the way. That's why I love him, because he's truly.
Yeah, you know, he believes in, you know, he calls it like gold, right? He's big on gold, right?
Yeah. Well,
God's money, God's money, God's
it
money.
Is God's money.
And Bitcoin and the, you know, is the people's money.
It is gold and silver.
And then the dollar,
yeah.
the fiat currency is
Garbage paper,
is the government money.
Government money. I like that. He says some groundbreaking stuff. But at the end of the day, you need that 8 million fiat paper to go buy stuff. You need you need the millions of dollars if you want to. But at the point is when everybody switches the narrative of, oh dang, Bitcoin is valuable, I'll just take Bitcoin for this transaction.
So okay, you know, you have those credit cards, right? You have those credit cards and that are linked to, you know, the crypto, you know, accounts, right? And so you have to. How does it work? You can have US dollars, USDC in your account, and then you can just buy something at the store with that?
Yeah, they're doing that's centralized. And,
right.
They're doing the conversion for you.
Okay, basically. So how does that work?
They're middlemaning it. So like you could go to crypto.com and get a crypto.com card. They're the big daddies here. You can get like 3 levels of a card, right?
Okay.
You basically put down like 10,000 at like the first level. But you have to buy 10,000 of their coin, their token.
Their token, okay.
Yeah. And like you have reserved assets now inside there. So when you spend, it's still kind of fiat based. When you go and swipe the card and spend, you still have to have money on the card. When you go and swipe the card, they're giving you back Bitcoin or whatever coin you want to earn. So like my friend does it, and he does like he gets Chainlink back for his like a percentage of Chainlink back. So they're giving you crypto back as you spending fiat paper.
Got you.
Because in the end of the day,
do you do that?
No, I don't centralize crap, man. I don't.
But your Cody does.
Yeah, my friends do. Yeah, I've got a couple of friends who have the crypto.com
because you stay more connected to the ecosystem, the metaverse.
Yeah, you put a CD basically down is how I look at it, right? You're just putting 10,000 down, buying their coin, and you get tier 1 level. And what like tier 3 level is crazy. The crypto.com card pays for your Amazon, pays for your Netflix. They're like, we'll pay for all this stuff for you. You know what I mean? If you just put a little CD down on our CRO coin. It's very interesting how that works. There's also a BlockFi card where you just basically, it's like, this is the one I kind of would do. I do actually one called Fold. I do actually do one, but I earn Satoshi's the simplest one to understand. I transfer money from my debit account right into the Fold card, and this isn't a plug for Fold. I kind of have my grievances with them too. They still don't have instant transfers, dude. It's been like 2 years. Anyway, where I can just instantly transfer it. It takes like 3 days on my bank, but you put like $500 over, you start swiping the card wherever you go, and they give you back Bitcoin, which is and that's what the BlockFi card does. So like, you know, like I feel like I'm always telling people like, yeah, go out Coinbase, you know, buy crypto, you know, exchange your, you know, from your bank account, you could buy whatever coin that you want. Yeah. And then you can go to your hot wallet, Coinbase wallet, transfer money from the Coinbase app to the Coinbase wallet. And then from that wallet, you can go into the metaverse, the DeFi metaverse. Exactly.
Which is the Aves, wherever you want to go,
wherever
right?
you want to go.
The spooky swap, you know?
Exactly. But see, what we did is we took it off I feel bad for even saying this, but like from what we did is we took it off that Ethereum blockchain. Even the CB wallet, It's kind of more Ethereum blockchain based, but you can still put Bitcoin on there. But like, yeah, the CB wallet.
Are there
the
any
CB
other,
wallet helps
what are
you
some
go
other
into
what
it.
are some other good central exchanges to start out?
I think
you know,
Coinbase is still the one I recommend to just your first buy. I still use it
because
all the time.
it's easy to use,
yeah,
right?
I still it is. You've used it. It's the easiest. It's got the most users. They used to be careful of like what coins they could buy on there because they were very suspicious of scam coins. I mean, dude, I'm serious with you. A lot of these 90% are still scams. I mean, I thought Solana was a scam.
Yeah, you don't know, right?
You don't know until you start.
It's just kind of scary, right? Because you're out in the
You're putting
metaverse, right?
$100,000 in the hands of a spooky cat, you know, waving a magic
A
wand.
ghost cat.
But it's funny.
I
And
mean, I was
and
like,
then-
dude, like, why would you trust this thing? There's like, cat,
when it starts
cat
turning you
ghosts.
money and you can harvest your money,
And it's like, dude, there's like,
it's charging you pennies.
it's part of that is to keep the boomers away.
Bro, it's not for boomers. This isn't for boomers. But you earn boo coin. You can't spell boomer without boo. No, but my point is once you see it happening, you're like, I can collect that money, and
Yeah.
you collect that money, then I can go on spooky swaps, exchange it for USDC right there. Take that USDC. I can send it to my Coinbase regular account, like just copy the address, send it back to the Ethereum blockchain, and I just made like $800. I'm not saying I just did, but say I just made like
Right.
$800.
Right.
Now I have that, and I can deposit that straight into my bank account. Okay, that's still fiat paper money world. That's not the metaverse. That's coming back into boomerland, bankland. The point is, the merchants and the metaverse of everybody, you're going to be able, who's to say there can't be an Amazon on Spooky Swap, an Amazon on Solana, where people like me and you just put stuff up and we take crypto and exchange it there. And I want a whole bunch of
Because
food.
Apple and Amazon and everybody, they're going to be able to pretty soon, right? Like be
Yeah.
able to accept like Bitcoin and
Exactly.
Ethereum.
That's inevitable, and that'll probably boost the price. But
Probably the next like 6 months, you think?
yeah, I think by the end of this year they have to.
They have to,
They
right?
want that money. They want money at the end of the day, and customers are. Dude, this is a funny thing. These kids are millionaires, 18, and I know. Dude, I'm on Twitter again all day, crypto Twitter. I mean, you're talking 17, 18-year-old traders who don't even have a bank account. But guess what they have? They have like 10 to 20 million dollars in crypto, bro. You know what I mean? And they're just playing the game and having fun, and they live. We call them NEETs. You know, they have no education, employment, or training. NEET. No education, employment, or training. NEET. And it's like they live with their mom in the basement or in the attic. There's on tons of memes I could send you. And like they're just playing the DeFi game. You know, they're just winning. And then the question is, well, if you're a guy who's like humble and you can live off of like a couple thousand a month, you just cash out, go to Coinbase real quick, couple grand for what you need inside the real world. But once the merchant system comes to the blockchain, like the mercantile system of like where we don't need the bank, let's just exchange, you know, let's trade this for that right now. And then like before you know it, food's at your house. You know what I mean? Because you're trusting this merchant. You know what I mean? And it's like, boom. Are you trusting the guy selling something?
Yeah,
That's the future.
We're in a big shift, and you know you can like part of it.
And
part of the smoke screen is like I feel like is this pandemic thing, right? It seems that way by all the things that I'm reading.
Yeah, that's
right.
It's a very good
I
way.
mean, that's
to
what
put it.
that's
No,
I mean that Great Reset by Klaus Schwab, you know.
Also a Chainlink promoter, Klaus Schwab. He mentions smartcontracts.com in his book. He only mentions 2 cryptos in his book.
Which ones?
Chainlink, well, smartcontracts.com, which is Chainlink, and Bitcoin. And he's saying exactly what I'm saying right now. Smart cities. You know, you walk in. You
I've seen the, was it Nemo? What's it? Not Nemo. The Saudi Arabia future city.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that. No,
No, you haven't seen it?
No,
It
I'll
said
look it up.
they're building it like, $1 trillion. I don't know how much, but it's all underground because it gets like to be 130 degrees or whatever in the desert.
Oh, wow.
What's it called?
I'll look it up.
Saudi Arabia Smart City.
I'll look it up right away.
They're building it, you know.
Wow.
It's a lot of it's most of it's underground, but it's all like call it eco-friendly, you know.
The future would be
The
in
sun
the
and-
future would be in your house then. Now that I kind of think about it, like pay your AC bill. Boom, just go scan the phone over your air conditioning. Sends the token right to the air conditioning. Boom, your air conditioning's on for
just move your eyes, just think about it, right? Once you put the chip in your brain.
That's smart contract technology I'm talking about. That's all automated, and that's what Chainlink does. That's why I'm a Chainlink maxi before anything, bro. I think Chainlink I believe in Sergey Nazarov more than almost anybody in the space. I don't believe in Charles Hopkins I mean, you go look that guy up. We've talked about him. I mean, come on, bro. We're still waiting for smart contracts, you know. And he doesn't understand. He doesn't know if he's a layer 1 or a layer 2. That's a whole nother kind of thing.
What's a layer?
Like the base layer of the blockchain. Just not to get too technical. Even me, I'm still trying to understand the layer 2.
So what's even what soy boy and Chad?
Chad? Yeah, well, the soy boy, you know, is the guy who believes the FUD. You know, oh man, well, what if it's gonna go, oh man, why would you buy Bitcoin?
Is that on Twitter?
Yeah, of course. Oh man, why would you buy Bitcoin? It's a scam, you know. And the chat is like, oh dude, Bitcoin, it's $20. Okay, cool, man. I'll spend $20,000 on 20 Bitcoins or whatever, you know. And then boom, it goes to 100,000. Chad's living the good life while Soy Boy's still debating whether or not he's gonna get in.
Yeah.
You know, and that was me with Solana. I was a soy boy. I was like, I called it Soylana. You know, that's like. I didn't know. I didn't do my research, man. Yeah. But when you start seeing the whales on Twitter navigate to one thing, you got to follow that movement, man. You know, so that's how I look at it. At the end of the day, yeah, I want to make money, but at the end of the day, I want freedom. And it does represent freedom. You know, going to own a house, a QR code on the house. Beep, scan. I own the house now. Paid it with my Bitcoin. Done deal. I want to turn my air conditioning on. Boom, scan the phone. Boom. And then, or whatever you have your wallets, and then the air conditioning's on. Boom, I need to pay my light bill. Boom, scan the QR code, buy the lights. The lights are paid for. That's where it's going. I predict by 20, maybe 40, 50, Amazon will all be on the blockchain because they're going to want that merchant access to this metaverse.
They say with the George Gilder, the guy was to bring up the guy who has the book Life After Google and the Emergence of Blockchain Economy.
I still got to read that, yeah.
You know, but he basically, in a nutshell, right? Because you listen to Ray Kurzweil, he's also another futuristic guy, right? Yeah. And we're basically creating our own species in a way, right? Our own future, like robots and this AI stuff, right? But George Gilder always says there's going to always be a part of human, human part in that.
There's going to be the human element.
The human element, you know, like the virtual reality and all that. It's still us in it, you know. But we're definitely merging with all that world.
That's what I mean with blockchain economy, right? I just described it. Scan the QR code, boom, the thing.
Right.
Boom. Yeah, it just has to go that way.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the realtor's done.
I mean, what do we know, right? Like Elon Musk, right? Like he's like, yeah, we're living in a simulation. They have the Matrix movies, you know, and then I mean, come on, the same. What are the writers that wrote the Matrix?
Wachowski brothers, sisters,
brothers, right? Formerly brothers, now sisters.
Oh my God, man!
That they wrote the V for Vendetta movie.
That's right.
The pandemic in 2020.
I mean, it's insane, dude. Like predictive programming.
You know, like the great pandemic, people get vaccinated, a bunch of people die. You know,
it's exactly like V
and then
Vendetta.
The pharmaceutical companies get crazy rich, and then there's this,
Even the movie The Matrix was based off of like a white paper some guy wrote, like, are we living in a computer simulation? It's just I don't quote me on the year that it came out, but imagine having that thought in like 1960 or when the guy wrote the white paper for it. The Wachowski brothers read that and were like, whoa, dude, and then that theory gets taken over by all like the.
Do you ever think about like I think about this because I have kids, right? But like I'm driving a car right now. When is the year that people stop driving cars and everything's automated? We're 2021. Just call it. Just.
You tell me. I mean, I'm thinking with the way technology moves, you got about another 10 years. I mean, the flying car, that's 40, 50 years away. But I mean, you got another 10 years.
Because it's exponentially growing, right?
I sat in a driverless car in Vegas. You had my Lyft gave me the choice to sit in a driverless Tesla to come pick me up.
Wow.
Well, there's still a guy in there, but he didn't touch anything. He just kind of like, when it started drifting to the left a little bit, he kind of like pressed something. I couldn't film anything though. Like I was like, oh, let me get my phone and start filming this big sign. You're not allowed to film anything. I still pulled my phone out and kind of like filmed a little bit. I'll show you a bit later. But like, they're still in there. There was 2 engineers. One of them had a big computer in front of him, and he was typing.
So
in.
10 years, huh, for that?
It looked like it.
Right, for 10 years for the self-driving cars.
But it's gonna be
because I'm thinking like my kids gonna be able to. They're gonna go to amusement parks to drive a car. You know what I mean? Like in whatever 10 and 15 years probably. Then I'm thinking like, yeah, because things. Even Elon Musk, he thinks like things being automated, you know, being turning into, you know, us automating things. Yeah. He thinks it's like for his factory, and he was, you know, having a lot of things like what do you call it? Turning, you know, robot, like replacing people with like robots, you know.
Yeah.
But it wasn't so easy, you know. Like he underestimated like the human capabilities and things, like problem solving.
Now he's selling droids. Did you see that?
I saw that. Yeah.
I mean, not droids. Thing. Droids are half human. I mean, he's selling like robots. You saw that? And what is that disaster going to be? Dude, it's like.
Well, who knows, right? Who knows?
But it's going to do basic.
It's definitely going. Yeah.
And then that's taking jobs away from like people who can clean your house. Now your robot.
Well, that's coming, and so you know, staying ahead, right? And like this DeFi or this crypto space could be one of the things, the hedges, right? Let's hope for it, right? Because I'm, you know, listening to all these future guys, right? I'm not hoping, but I'm thinking, I'm feeling that, you know. But you know, I think we got to protect ourselves, right, in our futures and our loved ones. Like we, you know, we're jiu-jitsu fanatics. We want to keep, you know, we want to take care of our community and keep doing what we're doing, you know.
I talk to this about Dan all the time. Okay?
That's really
Professor Dan. Talk to him all the time. I said, the day I got to teach a robot to do jiu-jitsu, I'm out of there. Imagine how fast he's going to learn jiu-jitsu.
That's the thing. No, it's like, you know, it's like, I mean, it's like the Matrix, right? Like, did he say jiu-jitsu?
Jiu-jitsu? Yeah, he does. He goes jiu-jitsu.
And they put the jiu-jitsu and they know it.
Yeah.
Within seconds, you know?
I said, Dan, the day we teach the droid, he's going to get his black belt.
You don't need to, right?
Get his black
you don't
belt.
need to.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
He'll read that he'll scan the whole database of every book that's ever been written about jiu-jitsu and know how to move it.
Right.
The only thing is then the professor will be like, give him the practical, like little human elements that we need to teach him about, like actually how to grip the gi, like little things that aren't in the books, like examples how to, like, you know, collar sleeve and grip actual, you know, new modern techniques that aren't in there. And once they learn that, it's a wrap. And then they'll teach each other. And then when teach each other, just download.
I think you know, he's talking about quantum physics and things like that, like, you know, like the Matrix, and I mean, we don't know, right? We think, but we don't know. All the top scientists, like, they're humble enough to say, like, we think, we don't know, right? And so there's a Facebook picture that I shared of the nervous system and like the eyes, and then the kind of the brain and the nerves all the way throughout the body, and how that's us, right? That's us, but that's wrapped in like this like skeleton and
this
skin,
carbon, like life,
you know, organic, like kind of, you know, suit, right?
Yeah.
But that's us. Like, what are we, right? We're energy, and so our thoughts is our things, right? And
it's crazy.
So it's like, you know, like,
it's just crazy.
We're talking about this, and you know, jiu-jitsu, it's not just techniques, right? It's like me and you, like our relationship, right, over the years, like emotions, like touch, you know, like the feelings, you know what I mean? Like the bonds, like like human things, right?
Yeah, the human element, like you said, man. There's another crazy futuristic movie, The Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
You ever seen that?
No, I haven't, man.
Go look at The Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element.
Only the human element can save us from. You gotta see that.
I believe in the human race. I believe.
Spoiler alert at the end. She believes in love and the world is saved. So, but go watch it, dude. It's like, bro, I think about that movie all the time. I'm like, bro, it's like she saves the world, but she's like, why do I want to save this world?
Though, man. That's the
truth.
She goes,
why do I want to save this world? All you guys do is kill each other with wars, and you hate each other.
Yeah.
And then she turns to love Bruce Willis, and then she decides to save the world.
Man. Hey, The Matrix. Talk about them writing the scripts.
Yeah.
How does he come back alive?
Yeah.
She loves him, you know.
but I mean, that's us writing in our own script of we hope. Like, gosh,
that's the thing, right?
Bro, that's really trippy
human
to think about. It is, man. And
like, how were you created, and you know, how are people? You know, it's crazy,
bro.
Man.
You get into dark matter too, and it's like, what are you? Like, if this light wasn't shining on you, I can only see what the light hits on you, and then what is projected is what these eyes choose to see.
Exactly.
It's insane, and then you're just a projection of what the light shines on you, and it's like it gets really like, what the heck, man?
You know, the Joe Dispenza, like, you know, like he, like in his books, like we're 99, we're 0.999999, right? Like energy,
Yeah.
0.0001 like matter, right? The nucleus and all that. But the electrons, that's most of our atoms, and we're made up of atoms, and so we're energy. But just the way our eyes and our nervous system is formulated, we can only see how we see, but there's a lot of other things out there.
You know, Professor. Back to Twitter. Look, there's a lot of Instagram guys. Okay, and I know like a lot of jiu-jitsu and a lot of people who have businesses like us. It's so important to have Instagram because it's visual.
Right,
you know,
right,
you
right,
want to
right.
I want to see the gym. I want to see the food they're eating. I want to see stuff. Twitter is where I get a lot of like. I read a lot. I just read a lot. I replaced my Instagram time with Twitter time. But there's a Twitter account that I think is just amazing. It's called like microscopic images times 1,000, and it shows
Microscopic.
Yeah, I'll show you
images.
the account. It's so cool, dude. It's a guy who does like salt grains times 1,000, and it's just a microscope of like what salt grains look like just salt,
Right.
like a pile of salt, like microscope to like 1,000 times. Bro, it's crazy. They look like literal cubes, like perfect cubes, like I mean, like perfect.
It's all there, right? It's all there, all in nature.
Bro, it's insane.
It's
They
all
have
there.
like little things that look like hieroglyphs on the side of them. And you're like, what the heck? And then his whole account is just microscopic things through a microscope, and just seeing like what.
I mean, fascia, right? I'm always talking about
You
fascia
always
in the
are.
body, and
Yeah,
you
man.
know, it's water, right? We're like, and what's a nerve? It's like pudding. Everything's like liquid, and just how does that even work?
Bro, it's in
We're talking to each other right now.
How is it working? How am I understanding what you're saying, and my brain processes it that quick? And then how am I able to just spit out a thing? And then you think if humans couldn't do this, 20, 30,000 years ago even, right? It's like, it's pretty crazy.
I mean, we're just exponentially growing, right? And that's why, like, it's like all this stuff. We don't realize that it took us this long to get to a certain place, but we're exponentially growing, especially with all the technologies that we have.
Yeah, and then what is it? I forget the like 1 year in computers, or 1 year to human is like 4 years in computer time or whatever. Now it's like 1 year in human time is like 8 years of computer time. I forget what that exact like theory's called or whatever. But with
the AI, it's like it's switching,
insane.
right? It's like
Well, did you see Boston Dynamics? What these robots
With the
can
robots,
do now?
yeah,
Holy,
yeah.
everybody sees that, sends me that all the time because they know I'm a big like. I call myself John Connor, bro. I was meant to fight these robots.
It's common, man.
To bring the human element.
Maybe it's already happened, you know?
I mean, there's another one, the Terminator. At the end, he cries the tear.
Emotions, man. That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
But he's still alive in like the next 10 Terminators.
Hey, bro, did you when you won the Master Worlds? Did you cry?
Yeah, I did, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, as I said, yeah, I did. I just cried, and I got my purple belt. Yeah, I mean, Georgie, George is, the man. Love Professor George. Wouldn't be here without him, man. He's a good dude. But yeah, it's like I want to teach jiu-jitsu because I actually like teaching the kids. It's like I wouldn't be there if I didn't like.
Yeah,
doing
of course.
You know what I mean? It's always human.
You're making
stuff.
a difference, you know.
Imagine the guy in like 100 years teaching like droids. This is why I tell with Dan. I'm like,
like the George Gilder. Like there's always going to be a human element, and so like, okay, cool, everything's gonna be okay.
You'll be teaching a half droid, half human.
But yeah,
Jiu-jitsu.
we're gonna be near exactly.
You know what I mean? That's what I mean. And
They're gonna take the chip.
They're gonna heck no, and they're gonna be way better than us, bro. Like, you know what I mean? They're gonna be able. Their bones are gonna be made out of like steel. You can't even grapple with them, dude. You're gonna have to set a code on them that goes, go white belt level with like grip strength like 3. Like you could set the grip. Imagine setting the grip strength.
It'll be a different world, right?
Grip strength to 10, and then like they get a grip on you, bro. It's just. You're not breaking it, and then you're gonna
There'll be no more testing, right? For the
dude, and you know what? You always can get into
for the UFC and the Olympics,
the droid Olympics. I mean, bro, it's like it's gonna be insane. Guys can jump over a building. I mean, who knows where it's gonna go, bro? Yeah, I talk about this a lot, and like I'm scared, but at the same time, I know I'm not gonna be alive by that time. But I could freeze myself.
And they say like the Ray Kurtz wants to, when he's taking all these pills and stuff, so he lives, if he's trying to make it to that 2052 date, so he can live forever.
That's when
Have you seen that Johnny Depp movie where he basically, they put him into the program, into the computer, and he's like, basically takes over.
Johnny Mnemonic, or no, that's the Keanu Reeves one. That's another kind of similar.
I think it's Johnny Depp is the guy in the movie.
I remember that one.
But he basically takes over like the computer, and then he basically has a soft spot, so it is like still human, but that's the weakness, and so they're able to get it back.
There's also another one called The Lawnmower Man from like 1992. Do you remember? Dude, it's crazy to think of all these signs. Dude, go watch The Lawnmower Man. That one's crazy.
Lawnmower Man.
It's not about lawnmowers.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
I gotta take notes. And I'll
there's
forget.
another one too.
But The Fifth Element, I'll for sure watch that.
I love
Bruce
that
Willis.
growing up.
That's cool.
Bro, it's more space movie too.
Okay.
Yeah, and like they can space travel and stuff, and that one's really cool. That's another thing we haven't talked about. Colonizing, they're colonized planets by then, you know, and like they go to planets for vacations because the weather's nicer on there, and it's really crazy stuff, man. But yeah, we're gonna get there. We're probably not gonna be alive, but look at Walt Disney.
Or maybe you are, but
he froze
hopefully
himself.
not. Hopefully we die, right? Hopefully we pass.
Like Walt Disney, you know, but the elites, like they're so obsessed with anti-aging, live forever, all these people, and you can get into all those wacky kind of things that they're into, but that's what they're into too. They want to live forever so they can see this, and you know, so they can still rule us. I mean, bro, I don't know. I'm just
emerge with technology.
Yeah, it's getting
that.
there. Yeah. You know, I mean, some of them look like droids already, you know, like some of these politicians, they look like they have merged with technology. Even Dick Cheney was on a robotic, like, super cool, ahead of the tech. Look that up. His heart, he didn't even have a pulse, you know, and it was beyond a pacemaker. It was like an actual, like, you can look this all up. This is, like, legit stuff. It was, like, the most cutting-edge technological robotic heart you could it was like generating pulses for him beyond a pacemaker, dude. I mean, it was like not even a real heart. It was like 30% real heart, 60% robotic. And you look at him in his last years, there's no human element there because he's, you know, literally heartless.
No emotion.
Yeah. You look at him in his last years in the wheelchair, and he's just a flesh vessel of. It's really kind of interesting. I don't have anything bad against Dick Cheney. I'm just saying. I mean, I do, but I don't. But I'm just saying, like, look at him in his last years, bro. He's a robot sitting there.
Yeah,
he's a legit robot.
All right, man. We
bro, I could talk to you all day, bro.
Oh my god, you know. But man, human element. Like, I believe in the human race. I believe in, man, just, you know, to get all like, but you know, like love is like the human connection. That's what it's about, you know.
It truly is.
And if the Matrix and all these guys have written it to the script, right? Like that's the thing that, I don't know. That's the way. And Jiu-Jitsu is like, you know, we love Jiu-Jitsu and we love what it gives people. We love what it's given to us, and we want to spread that, right? That's love right there. So I think we're on the right path.
We are, and we will live in that cloud above the sky in Alita where the city is, because we're getting into crypto now. I'm telling you, man. But yeah, I love talking. I can talk to you all day, man. So thanks for having me again, man.
Thanks for all your help too with all the things that I'm doing.
Yeah, man, it's fun stuff, dude.
Appreciate it. Hopefully, it gets you helping with some videos and some show me or the tutorials, on how to do things, and
eventually it's still still fun for me. I gotta figure out a way to monetize it, obviously, but you know, it's okay, man. Thank you for all your help.
Thank you, man. Thank you, brother.